Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Morning Coffee with Mike. Today we'll be speaking with Eka. We'll be speaking with him momentarily. We'll be talking about revenge trading and how to stop revenge trading, how to get over revenge trading, everything surrounding revenge trading. If you're joining us for the first time, then make sure that you click and follow wherever you are listening from. And if you want to be on the show, I'm going to include a link in my bio that you could click that link, schedule a time for yourself, and we'll be able to chat one-on-one. I believe that the best way to serve you is to have these one-on-one conversations and work through actual issues. Now, Eka should be joining us momentarily. In fact, let me come over here and make sure that he is in the room. Little reminder invite. And while we're waiting for Eka, see some other people joining in. Synth, hello. As we're joining in, let me know what your thoughts are about. Actually, looks like we've got Eka here right now. Eka, is that you?
Hi, good evening. It's
Hi, my
me.
friend. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Yeah, doing well. Doing well. What part of the world are you in?
Yeah?
Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Indonesia.
Very nice.
I
Very nice.
miss my coffee.
Here it's the morning. Yeah, you said good evening. Here it's the morning. I'm in New York.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So tell me. You had mentioned that you wanted to talk about revenge trading. Tell me a little bit about uh, well, what's happening.
Uh, uh, First thing, um, not sometimes, but a lot of traders like me, like others, when we get lost in trade, all right? So sometimes we get emotional, so we take revenge and we going to open trade again, so we can make a profit.
Mhm.
That's always happen. A lot of people do like that. Okay, we got lost, but maybe uh, first time we lost, at first trade we lost, second
Mhm.
trade we lost, and the third we like to try again, so we can make profit from that.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
we,
I've been there.
yeah,
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 I understand. I've been there myself. If you guys in the audience watching now, if you guys have been there, raise your hand or click that little heart button and let us know that you've been there too. There's been so many people that have experienced similar. Why do you think? What's bringing that on? It tends to be a handful of things that are bringing it on. I'm curious why. Like, what's triggering that? Is it that you want to win on the next trade? That you feel like the market took your money and you're trying to make that money back? Is it that
yeah,
you're trying to just to make more money and make more money fast, or
yeah,
is it related to the trading? Is it related to the money, or do you feel that it's more about wanting to be right?
yeah.
A little bit of
Uh,
both.
Maybe like we try to get our money back. Maybe a lot of
Mhm.
people like that, including me.
Okay,
So,
so
uh,
you're trading because you want to get that money back that the market took from you.
yeah, yeah. It's
Okay,
like
so let me ask you this: do you have a system that you're trading with?
uh, in
Do you have
my
tools
trade.
or something that tells you that, okay, if I trade over 100 trades, that after 100 trades I might not win every single trade, but after 100 trades I know that I'm going to come out ahead. Are you trading
Mm,
with some kind of a system like that, or well, what's your method?
my method is like when I entering trade
Hmm.
per entry, I, I always measuring that if I get if I lost from my trade, maximum is 1 until 2% from my equity.
Okay.
Uh, uh, then if I should cut my loss at 2% maximal. After that, I'm training myself to hold myself not to entry again.
Mm.
That's it.
All right. So 1 to 2% is good. 2%. Well, when you say 2%, you're talking about your equity, right? So let's say
Yeah,
you're starting out with, just to use a round number, $100, right?
yeah,
So 2% is $2. So you would be down to after 10 losses in a row, you would be down to 90. Am I thinking
yeah,
about this right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Um, do you do you know your win rate? Like how often you win, how often you lose, or
Oh,
how often your system wins and how often your system loses?
uh, my win rate is less than 40%, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's not necessarily a bad thing. If our winners are dramatically bigger than our losers, then
Mm,
that could be a winning system, right? Like my win rate is about 45%.
mm,
And the reason why I come out ahead and why I'm not worried about the losses is because my winners are 2 to 3 times bigger than my losses. So if I'm, let's say I lose $2,
uh,
I'm winning $4, I'm winning $5, I'm winning $6. Does that make
yeah,
sense? So if you're flipping a
yeah,
coin, then if every time that it lands on heads, you win two. Every time it lands on tails, you lose one. You might get 10 losers in a row, but it doesn't matter because you know that you just keep on flipping this coin, and after 100, you're going to come out a winner. So part of the question then is, what do you have that level of confidence in your system? Have you seen these? Have you tested your system to know that this is in fact going to happen?
uh, in a day, I only trade maybe around one until one, 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I only trade 3 times a day.
uh,
3 times a day. Once I lost, twice I lost, but the third I win.
mm-hmm.
The win, that's what I mean in my trading method. Okay, we got lost 1 until 2%. I mean, the first 1% it's okay. The second 1% it's okay. The third 1% again lost. It's okay. I stop.
Mm-hmm.
But if the third I entry again, then uh, I'm stick with my percent.
Interesting.
I'm stick with my percent.
And
My rate one to
so,
2%.
and
Uh,
how are you tracking your trades? How are you
what?
tracking? How are you tracking your wins and losses? Are you writing them down somewhere? Or are you keeping them in a spreadsheet? How are you keeping track of it all?
Spreadsheet. I have spreadsheet at MQL5.
Mm-hmm.
MQL5. I put my spreadsheet there, my portfolio there,
Okay.
at my portfolio there. Uh, the, still still not good, I think, but I know it's getting. But I still keep my risk on 1-2%.
And so, will you continue to risk the same 1 to 2% regardless of if you're on a winning streak or on a losing streak?
Um, because once I can win more than 10%
Mm-hmm.
one time, and after that I'm not entering anymore. I'm not entering again. After that I know that, oh, okay, I entry just before that analyze first. Okay, this is going bullish, this is going bearish. After that I'm entry, and I going to entry the market, and then okay, we can take this profit here. I put my check point there, or the second I put my trailing stop. I put my trading stop to cover my profit. Yeah.
So there's a few different things that we can work on that you mentioned already. I want to stick with the revenge trading aspect of it first because that was well what you had messaged me about. So well when it comes to revenge trading and particularly for wanting to make money back or for the trying to prove the market wrong, if we're looking at trading and we're looking at our systems as us not being the player, like the person that's got to try to execute and do this and do that, but we are more about the being the referee, right? So like the trades are the players in the game, right? So each trade can either do whatever it's going to do, and we just set up the rules for those trades. So let's say a trade goes in, it's a loss. Okay, because it broke our rules, so we kick it out, right? Like it's no sweat off our back. If another trade comes on, it's a winner. We're just following our rules and allowing the trades to do whatever they're going to do. We're not the player, we're the referee. We're not the player, we're the game master. So we come up with the rules that will allow a trade to move or kick a trade out of the arena. Does that part make sense? You're with me so far? So then our job becomes to be the enforcer of the rules and to come up with better and better rules. Now, how do we go about doing that? The way that we go about doing that, and you mentioned that you're already keeping track of your trades, which is great. If you go and you review your past trades, right? So you already have a log of all your past trades. So you could go back to those and see what rules would have led to better outcomes. If you had just followed these rules, go back over your past trades. How many trades have you had over the past 12 months, would you say?
In 12 months,
more than 100?
not less than 100. Less than 100.
Okay, so you could start with those. You would probably want to go back a bit further. We want to have at least 100 trades that we're going to test a rule on to see if it's good. If we start to get good results after 100 trades, then we want to keep on testing just to make sure that this rule is good and that we've seen it from all different angles. If we test out a rule and we notice that the rule sucks after a dozen or so trades, then we could say, this doesn't work, and then move on to the next thing. But if you find something that is working, that's when you really want to put it to the test, right? So you have a couple of things to do there that should help you as far as revenge trading. It's shifting your mindset from being the player and trying to prove the market wrong to being more of the referee, and each trade that comes in, it has to first pass your strict criteria. Whatever your criteria is, it has to pass that first to even get into the arena. Then, after it's in the arena, it has to then again prove itself by following your rules. Otherwise, you kick it to the curb. All right?
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes.
All right.
I can do that.
Very good. So that's part one. Part two is going to be about progressive exposure. Have you ever heard of that term, progressive exposure?
Pardon?
Have you ever heard of the term progressive exposure?
No.
I'll explain it. So what progressive exposure is, it means that when we win on a trade, that we could start using those profits from that winner to start to bet a little bit heavier, right? But if we have losses, then we should cut our size down and trade smaller if we're on a losing streak. That way, because streaks happen in trading, right? Like, well, we could have 5 winners in a row, 10 winners in a row. We could also have 5 losers in a row, 10 losers in a row. So rather than betting the same size on every single trade, when we are winning, well, we could start to take those profits, start to bet heavier. The moment that we start to see losses start to pile up, we could cut our size, right? So instead of betting 2%, you could bet 1%. Instead of betting 1%, you could bet 0.5%. And that will help to normalize out your overall equity curve, how much money you're actually holding on to. I know it's a,
Okay.
does it make
Oh,
sense?
makes sense. Yes. I see. I see. I see.
That that's the gist of it. That's the gist of it. Well, we just did like an hour of this inside our group, but that's the basic idea. Yeah, you could look up progressive exposure, get different ideas. If you want to reach out to me, I'm glad to talk to you about progressive exposure more. But that's the gist of it. You want to bet heavier when you're on your winning streaks, and then the moment that you start to see the losses pile up, that's when you want to start cutting your size down.
Uh, I see. I see. I see.
And we don't want to
Something.
get too crazy with that either, right? Because some people might hear this and think, oh, I'm going to just keep on raising my bet size up and then risking 5% of their account, risking 10% of their equity. And so they lose on one trade. And then all of a sudden their whole account is down 10%. That's not what I'm talking about. We never want to have the risk of ruin. We do want to have a certain maximum that we'll risk. The most that I'll ever risk is 2% on a single trade. That doesn't mean that my uh, my position size is 2%. I might have 25% of my account in a trade. I might have 30% of my account in a trade, but the most I'm ever going to risk is 2%. And that's pretty rare. For the most part, I'm risking 1%, often a lot less than that. And the reason why is because of what you had mentioned, well, when we first started talking, trying to keep that entry and that stop loss very tight, that you want to risk just a little bit.
Risk is my risk 1-2% and maximum risk. Actually, the last 3 months
Mm.
using stop loss. Before that, that's my fault. Before that, I never use stop loss because I think when I'm using stop loss, I think stop loss is like cutting my left hand, stop loss cutting my right hand, using stop loss like cut my leg. But I think stop loss is like it's saving my account, saving our equity. From
Mm.
there, I think, okay, from my equity, I should use 1-2% from my equity for entry
Oh.
for this
How
time.
about how about
For this
this?
time.
It, what if you thought about stop losses as instead of it being like cutting off a hand or a leg? Well, what if your a stop loss was like a seatbelt, right? Like,
Now I see like that. Now I know it's like a seat belt,
right,
saving your account.
exactly.
If
Nobody wants to get into an accident, but the seatbelt is there so that way you don't go flying through the
yeah,
windshield.
yeah, I see a lot of people not using stop loss, and the first week they have a big big profit. In a week they growing up to 100 200%, but in 3 days, bye bye, they say goodbye for the
Uh,
account. Yeah,
yes, that
because they're not
so
using stop loss.
stop losses are important. Trade management is
Yeah,
important as well.
yeah,
So it's so if somebody and we're going to have to unfortunately wrap this up. We're a few minutes over already, but just this last point on trade management, we need to have multiple ways to exit trades, right? So
yeah,
let's say we're up 300%. We need to have a way to lock in those profits as they keep on going up in our favor. I like to think of exiting trades in four different ways, right? The first way is our seatbelt, right? The stop loss.
yeah,
The second way, the second, the third, and the fourth way are all ways to lock in profits, right? So these are good. So the first way is going to be
uh,
as price gets to our profit targets, right? And I
yeah,
use that word
uh,
plural, targets. It's not just taking it off at some magic number that we think of. we're going to take off profits. And well, here's the way that I like to do it. I like to take off
Yeah.
profits when I make 1 times my risk, right? So if I risk 5% on a trade, then I'll take off a little bit of profit when I've made 5%. Then I'll take
Yeah.
off more profit when I get to my average gain. Like how much does a trade typically go in my favor? If it's 10%, then I'm taking off half of my position when I get to that 10%.
Mm.
Then there's another time that I'm going to do, and this is my last target, what I call a high water mark. A high water mark is the highest point that the last 10 trades have made. So if that's been, let's say, 20% on average, then that's the high water mark. Then when a trade gets to that level, then I'm taking off another 0.25% of the trade. Now I've got 25% of the original trade left. And that part I'm going to let run to infinity until it gives me some kind of a major sell signal and or major sell rule. And remember, we are the referees, we're the game masters. We decide what those rules are. So if I see something that's saying, hey, this is a major turning point, that's when I'm going to take off that last bit. All that falls into the profit target bucket, right? So we had the seat belt, the backstop. We had the profit targets. Now we're going to talk about backstops. Backstops are when we raise our stop, right? Our stop starts down here. Every time that we raise our stop, I call that a backstop. And we can have a bunch of different reasons why we raise the backstop. We don't exactly have time to go into all of it right now for what I do, but there's a book coming out that explains all of this. There's a whole chapter on it. But raising your backstop progressively. And the last thing is similar to what you mentioned, trailing stops, right? So there's a bunch of different ways to use trailing stops. The simplest way is just a percentage from where price goes. That one I do not like. The reason why is because it puts your stop in an arbitrary spot. What I prefer to do is to weigh what I call danger signals, right? So what's a danger signal? There's certain things that I've observed that will tell me that a trade is starting to weaken and I should look to either exit the trade completely or aggressively raise that backstop to lock in the rest of my profits. So altogether, I've given myself 4 ways to exit a trade. 1 cuts the loss short. 3 are letting the winners run and locking down gains.
Yeah.
So hopefully that made sense. It's a good thing this is being recorded. You could go back, watch it a few times if you need to. But seriously, Echo, reach out to me anytime that you need help or anything.
Yeah. I see. Right.
So so here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to take what we spoke about today, start working on it, and within, say, next month, if you'd like to hop on another call like this, you know how to do it. And
yes, I know.
Between now and then, keep me posted on your progress. Message me, post comments. Let me know how you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, you got this, man.
Thanks a lot for the advice. A lot of things I see now. Next, me. Okay, what should I do when I get where I should cut my loss? Where should I take my profit? And how I should control my emotion? Okay.
Yes, and controlling emotions, being gentle with yourself, right? Like it takes time to do it. So allow yourself a little bit of grace. Keep on practicing. Be consistent. Try to be as consistent with this as you can. But if you stumble, understand too, like that this does happen, right? And
Yeah.
give yourself time, because
Yeah.
then you'll be able to pick yourself up better and keep on going. And reach
Okay.
out. Reach out if you need help, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You got this, my friend.
Okay.
All right.
By the way, I like your post. I like your post on IG, your
I
Instagram. I like
appreciate
it.
that. I
It
appreciate
feels, yeah. I should. I can do it.
it. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Mm.
Take care.
Thank you. Ah,
See you next
you
time.
too.
Well, what are you drinking?
Ah, cafe latte.
Very, very good.
Nice.
Very good.
What time is?
All right, my friend. I'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
My
It means a
pleasure.
lot. Yeah.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah.
Take care. All
Take
right.
care.
And thank you, everybody,
See you.
for hopping on and being a part of this. If anybody would like to come on the next Morning Coffee with Mike, we're doing this Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Just click the link in my bio and schedule a time for yourself. All right.
Every Monday.
Monday through Friday, 5 days a week.
Oh, 5 days a week. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Ah, nice.
Yeah. Doing all that I
Okay.
can to help as many people as I can.
Pardon?
Doing all that I can to help as many people as I can.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. Take care. Much love. Peace out, everybody.
You too.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.